Hello everyone, and welcome to my Psychology of Play Week 4 challenge, where I'll be going over my personal play plan, which I plan to use from this day forward. My name is Travis Lenz, and I am currently a sophomore attending Full Sail University. With that, let's get started. Over the course of 4 weeks, we learned about many elements of play, such as the qualities of play, our play histories and personalities, the way our brains work and how play affects it, the study of positive psychology, critical and creative thinking in the workplace, how play affects our society, the dark side of play, and finally, the art of balancing play in our everyday lives. For our first week, one of the things we learned about was what qualities found in an individual's activity indicated whether that activity could be considered as play. Some examples of this that I found the most interesting were freedom from time and diminished consciousness of self. One of my favorite activities is reading, and I learned that I could easily find both of the aforementioned qualities of play in this activity, as well as all the other qualities of play. It's so easy for me to lose track of time and of myself when I'm absorbed in a really good book. From learning that I could find all the elements of play in my activity of reading, I realized that reading books is one of my best play activities. In response to this, I plan to make a habit of reading many more books per month than I have in the past. During our second week of Psychology of Play, we did a neat little activity where we were asked to pick a person in our lives that we deemed most important to us. In 3 minutes or less, we then wrote down why that person was important to us. Once we finished that, we were asked to call that person and read to them what we had just written. I'm sure that for all of us who did the activity, we really made that person's day, and as a side effect, it made our day as well. The lesson that we learned was that showing gratitude and kindness to others can, and usually will, make us happier in return. I could not help thinking to myself, no wonder I enjoy being kind to others so much. Going forward, I plan to push myself to be kind to others more often. After all, they're not the only ones reaping benefits from it. In our third week of class, we learned about how little society at large values play, especially in the workplace. Studies strongly suggest that finding ways to implement play into our work actually helps to boost our productivity, creativity, and innovation. You can find a great example of play in the workplace if you take a look at Google's headquarters. They create an amazing atmosphere in every room. Google is considered one of the top companies in the world to work for, and for good reason. As I hope to start my own company someday, I will be taking the tips that I've learned from week 3 to create a creative, productive, and most importantly, fun environment to work in. One of the most important things we learned about in our fourth and final week of Psychology of Play was the dark side of play. There are many elements to watch out for, such as the influence of violence in media, when players get too aggressive in a sport, or when a playful joke crosses the line from funny to hurtful. What really stuck with me is how too much play can have negative consequences. I know that I can sometimes get too engrossed in a video game, which results in negative effects such as putting off important obligations or ignoring social needs. Since I wish to better myself as a person, I plan to take the necessary steps needed to prevent that from happening again.
Created using Powtoon.